Hey there, Courtney here, and I'm going to do a quick little video on how to pantry shop when you feel like you really need to go to the grocery store or you're trying to save money. I have not been to the grocery store in 10 days. Around, let's see, it's the 24th, about 6 days ago I picked up some staples, but we have since run out and I have to work all weekend, but I don't like going to the grocery store. I had felt like spending had got a little out of control last month. So today I thought about what I was going to cook for the next couple of days so I could avoid going to the grocery store. And also I live in the country where Dollar General is the closest store to buy things that we need. And so they don't always have the best selection, but I will say this, my next video is going to be healthy items that you can get from Dollar General. Especially for people like me who live out in the country, that's usually the closest store, and a lot of times it's the most convenient when you have to make an hour round trip, which can be hard if you have a busy life or, quite frankly, like me, you just don't like to shop. So what I did, let me tell you, first of all, this morning on the way to work, I do this a lot on the way to work. I don't listen to music or podcast on the way to work. I plan in my head. I start thinking about what I need to do, what I have going on, different things. And today it was about what do we have that we can purchase, that we can buy without having to go to the grocery store. So some of these things I do need to run to the grocery store to get one or two things, but mostly I could make do with what I have. So I'm going to turn the camera around now and show you what we have. Let's see if I can do this. Awesomeness. Okay, so here most of this was in my freezer. I found some bags of spinach, which I just stock up when I find them, and some uncured turkey bacon and some cheese. I have some other bacon over there. I do have some almond milk that's unsweetened. I think I'll probably buy some regular milk and I will make a quiche. I had some feta left over, so I will make a quiche out of this, a crustless quiche. In the freezer, I had a half-open bottle of this organic tomato marinara, some cauliflower, some little bit of mozzarella and Parmesan. That's another thing I do is I pantry shop so I don't waste. And I have these organic chicken meatballs from Target. I'm going to cook both of this today, and then I'm going to layer the meatballs over the cauliflower with the tomato sauce and some seasonings and sprinkle cheese over it and bake it. And I just made that up. I want to talk a minute about if you don't cook or you don't know how to cook. I had some salmon. This is wild caught salmon from Target. Sometimes you'd be surprised what you can find at Target, and even the Dollar General has wild caught flounder. Some corn on the cob that was left over, some green beans that I had in the freezer, and I'm going to make this meal. I have some squash in the refrigerator from yesterday. It was squash risotto that's low carb. This will be for my husband because I don't eat corn. All right. Here I have 2 cans of tuna in the fridge of the solid white albacore tuna in water. You can find this at the Dollar General. It's more expensive than the other tuna there, but at least they have it. With some light mayo and some paleo wraps. These are just a healthier, they're gluten-free. They're very expensive, but I order them in a large quantity to get a better rate. They're gluten-free, no corn, no soy. They have high fiber. They're really good, and they're low in carb. So I was thinking I could make a tuna melt wrap or a tuna wrap. That would be good. Melt a little bit of cheese. Again, that was from the Dollar General. I found some frozen beans in the freezer, and I had some Jiffy corn mix that I had picked up from the dollar store. My husband could eat that. Over here for dessert and for breakfast, I also have a few leftover pecans and walnuts in the fridge. We can make oatmeal. Oatmeal is less than 25 cents a serving. We could heat up some of the berries and have that. A lot of times I just heat berries on the stove, and I will put either cream, whipped cream, milk, a little stevia, and we'll just eat them like that. I did find a thing of sugar-free Jell-O. I could make that and add the berries for a sweet treat. All right. Here, I had some cauliflower risotto medley that has asparagus and mushrooms. I had one chicken breast left. It's an organic chicken breast. I found a can of Healthy Request cream of chicken soup. Again, these are not perfectly healthy, but they're better than, you know, most American meals. I found some shallots. I could saute those and put them in there. What I'll do is I'll steam this. I'll cook this. I'll thaw it, cook it with the cream of chicken and the shallots. I'll saute before I put them in there, and then I'll serve it over the rice veggies. So it'll be like a cream of chicken dish. And then I'll cook steam these, and then I'll put them in the pan with a little bit of butter, salt, and pepper. Over here, I had some eggs left over from Target and some bacon that I don't normally eat this kind of bacon. I don't remember why we had it. It was for some event we had. We don't normally eat a lot of bacon. I had some savory turkey sausages left. And so we could do eggs and bacon and even oatmeal if you wanted a big breakfast, or one or the other. We're out of all of our fresh produce now. So this was my way of just trying to get through the end of the week without going to the grocery store. So I had to really think, what do I have? And honestly, I'm almost a little embarrassed because I feel like people who are watching this might be like, good gosh, how did you have that much stuff in your freezer and refrigerator? But what I do is when I go to the store, because I try not to go too often, is I stock up, or if I'm in Dollar General, I will stock up on staples that are really cheap, like the Clover Valley oats. And I just kind of pick things up as they're on sale, or as they're cheap, or as we need them. So most people could probably eat a couple of days out of their pantry. And what usually happens is we eat the good stuff first, and we leave the stuff that we don't necessarily want to mess with. If you're not a good cook, what I would suggest doing is just Google like how to cook green beans or how to cook salmon. If you're trying to save money, this book I've recommended before called Good and Cheap has a lot of great recipes. Now it has one in here for baked tilapia, but I use that same recipe for salmon. You can just think about, if you're cooking fish or something else, how could this what could I use instead of that? You don't have to be exact, and I find that works really good. It also has the crustless quiche recipe in there, and a lot of ideas for interchanging. Another book, sorry, my dog's outside and he's ornery. He wants in. He doesn't like to stay out. He's old. Another book that's really good for learning to make substitutions. This is an old book. It's called More with Less, and you can see when I've used a book a lot. And this one, it teaches you how to cook with what you have on hand. It's a Mennonite cookbook. They're known for their missionary work, and a lot of people who travel around the world use this book. You can get it at places like 10,000 Villages, which is a missionary gift shop that's super cool. Another one of my favorite books is Chronic Nutrition, Power Nutrition for Chronic Illness, and I love that. But these days, turn this back around. These days, you can just about Google anything, and it will be like the first thing that will come up: how to cook green beans, or how to cook frozen broccoli and make it taste good. Did you know you can roast frozen vegetables? Would you just come on, you silly demented old dog? I love you, but you crazy. So there's a lot of things you can do with the help of Google or a cookbook. It's really beneficial to learn to cook because there's so much money that can be saved. So if you like this video, thumbs up. Thank you. Please add your comments or questions below. Please be nice. And I appreciate you being here. Thank you. Bye-bye. And subscribe. Bye.